All right, welcome everyone. This is a week 8 post-game press conference. We got some special guests for you guys. We got, we got TJ, we got Ravant, we got Sam, we got Carter, we got me getting interviewed. Some great matchups happened last week, so let's get on our way. All right, TJ, spotlight TJ. All right. How's your evening, TJ?
I'm doing good, Never can't complain on a Tuesday. T-Mobile Tuesday today, always got deals.
All right. Last week, you beat the number one team in the league, previously undefeated, put up close to 150 points. Just a great overall week. What do you have to say to the league right now?
I just hope y'all better know that. I'll better know that. At the end of the day, like, this comes to no surprise for me. And if it comes to y'all, then y'all been sleeping. All right. This is, I believe, my 5th week in a row where I've caught a dub. All I can say is I put in the work. I didn't panic. Some of y'all should have probably panicked with y'all sorry ass teams. I didn't, because I know mine was good. And I just upgraded. Obviously came off of two big trades this past week. First one paid off really big. I mean, obviously, hope a win-win for both sides. It seems like that. Saquon and more trade for CMC, and then try to shift my positions a little with Mondre and MT for Amari and Mostert. All I can say is you don't want to be the top dog and play me. I always win. Ravant was number 1 in the power rankings when I played in week 2, knocked his sorry ass down. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I'm a villain. All right? I want to play the best because at the end of the day, I want to show you ain't the best. It's that simple.
Wait, y'all can ask some questions.
Do you have any worries this week? Forget who you're playing. Let me check real quick.
Playing Sam.
He's playing Sam. He's playing Sam.
Playing
Right?
Sam. Okay. Yeah. So Sam,
he probably has no worries then.
So you're playing decently strong team with Sam, who's had some pretty good performances. This is a pretty tough week for you because you have a lot of players on bye. How do you feel with your replacement players this week? Obviously, 2 of your best players, McCaffrey and Amon-Ra, down. You're playing Downs and Roshan. How do you feel about those players this week, the performances?
I mean, at the end of the day, obviously you're not putting up your A team, but strength of numbers, right? My bench is better than a lot of y'all sorry ass motherfuckers. So I'm not that worried. Obviously Roshan's a little worried, but I'm not too worried. He's just easing in from the concussion. It's his backfield now. Kind of showed that second half taking carries from Dante. Downs has been good every week. There's really no worry there. There's no boom bust. It's just boom or good. So, that's always nice to have. And at the end of the day, when you have talent in the ranks, I have a top 5 quarterback in Lamar Jackson. Obviously didn't have a great week last week, didn't matter. But, he's going to do great. I have a tight end in Goddard, even McBride with depth. I mean, that I have confidence in the position. I think one big key change I made starting from about week 3 was I've just invested more time into understanding defense and special teams, and I've made sure that that's not a reason that I'm losing. It's not here to say that I'm winning because of it, even though I feel like that has kind of been the case in some weeks, but I'm not going to lose. So obviously, tough matchup. Got to respect the opponent no matter what. Not the easiest in the world, but you got to have the confidence you're going to win. Like, I'm not going to make a move to try and win this week, or obviously, I'm not trying to lose this week, but I have confidence in my team. I'm not a two horse race. I'm not a 3 horse race. I'm a whole team race, and I want to show that.
All right. One thing I can see from your team is like throughout the season, you've been, constantly for example, like Josh Downs, Rashi Rice, Trey McBride. Now, you have constantly been like ahead of the waivers. So let's say like, you. I'm just saying that you got the player before the hype has happened for them. Who do you have to like? Do you have like a certain source you want to shout out?
Yeah.
Or like, is it just you?
Yeah, my left eye and my right eye, they both watch football. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a ball knower, all right? I'm not like you sorry-ass motherfuckers going on YouTube, listen to podcasts, here's who you buy now. I just look, all right? Josh Downs, second wide receiver in a good offense, you look there. You look harder at the waivers than guys to buy now. Like, y'all are probably fucking licking your lips over DeMario Douglas, right? I mean, go do it. He's a good dude. But, I mean, like, you got to just look at what's available and what's there. Obviously, you're going to miss on some of these. You're going to spend a little too much fab on guys you probably shouldn't be spending fab on. But the whole point of fab isn't to pay the right price for a guy. It's to go get the guys that you want. If that's an overpay, that's an overpay. And I feel like even with like my Josh Downs, Rashee Rice, even Wandale, I mean, I ended up dropping a McBride. I put okay amounts of waivers a week early because even if somebody wanted him, I don't want him to get him for free. They have to pay. And that's just how I feel. You always want to develop and add talent. I mean, some of the best trades we've seen in past years and this year's, they've been fair trades, but they've been 2 for 4s or 1 for 3s. And it's one side getting the best player in the trade and the other side getting talent to make their team fine. And for those trades to happen, you need to have that talent, right? I think one trade that Kopip can relate to is the trade for Cooper Kupp, right? Cooper Kupp for Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp and Rashad White for Stephon Diggs, Jake Ferguson, and CJ Stroud. I mean, those are guys that weren't playing for Sparks besides Diggs, and he gets, at the time, an arguable upgrade in Kupp and gets a higher running back for him to play in Rashad. I mean, these are things that it's definitely benefiting him at that time. Obviously, we don't know how those guys are going to pan out. I mean, but because he has the depth to do that. And, I've realized and I've learned from the winners in this league that you got to always amass talent. It doesn't matter how good your team is. You got to always amass, and I've made sure to do the same.
I have to ask this question. You have a really good team. It seems like you're going to be a contender moving forward. But I feel like you do have like a gap in your roster. Your RB2, Raheem Mostert. We saw last week that it was like it was 49ers McDaniel. Three running backs got good amount of work. Are you looking to improve that position? Before the trade deadline tomorrow.
Obviously, deadline's in 14 and a half hours. You're always looking to try and improve, but at the end of the day, if you have to stand pat, you have to stand pat, right? I mean, the NFL trade deadline just ended. Some contenders didn't get to swing for as more than they possibly could have wanted, and that's how it is. At the end of the day, if I go into the season with Raheem Mostert as my running back too, I'm not worried because he belongs to an offense that's going to score and belongs to a team that's going to win football games. Yeah, there's 3 running backs, tough defense, but Mostert got work and he scored a touchdown. That's not a coincidence. He scored a touchdown. And at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, glass full, right? Not glass empty. I mean, I had Ramondre Stevenson. I traded for Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert did better. And that's kind of what you want to see. And obviously, I have supreme confidence that my running back and what I think is the best player in fantasy counts as 1.5 running backs. So for me to even have 3/4 of a running back at the running back 2 position, I feel fine. Obviously, you want production from everybody. You don't want to rely on somebody overly. But I think you sometimes do have the fortune of being able to depend on your stars. And I happen to have a lot of them. I have a quarterback that I consider a star. I have a running back that I consider a star. I have 2 wide receivers that I consider stars. I have a tight end that could possibly be a star. I have a flex that I think is a star. We can see. At the end of the day, you have to have faith in your team. You have to have a team that you like, and I do. And so, yeah, I can trade. Yeah, I'm looking to trade. But at the same time, I love my team. I mean, it's better than y'all's team. Y'all suck.
Your league rival, Anki Kodali, Code Monkey, he is now 2-6. We're all in the group chat, and I haven't really been seeing much, hate towards him or anything like that. Do you have anything to say to him right now?
Yeah, Ankit, you suck, bro. Like, I'm happy one of my wins you had, one of the wins you had was on me. Just because I want you to realize how much more sorry your team is. I mean, you suck, bro. I told you week 1, my team, I dropped 70 points week 1 and you beat me. Like, dude, you suck. Like, what do you have? Sorry, real quick. We're going to take a look at your roster, bro. Oh my God. Let's do this again. Quarterback, good. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. He cool. Austin Eckler, he cool. Aaron Jones, oh my God. I mean, we're going to beat a dead horse 10 times, bro. That horse is dead, bro. Christian Kirk, you're a sorry-ass motherfucker for keeping him. Marquise Brown, Hollywood, Kyler still ain't starting, bro. I mean, you have the most middling wide receivers, and you have 6 of them. I mean, what do you want to do? Package him for another mid dude? Oh, my God. You have Luke Musgrave. I mean, I have no idea how you sat there and you said, I got Luke Musgrave. I'm going to win a week of football. Luke Musgrave? Luke Musgrave. I mean, come on. And then what? You got Chris Godwin. He cool. I actually like Chris Godwin. But well, I offered you crazy for him, but you didn't accept it because you wanted to hold on to your mid-ass player. I mean, go pull a trigger. At least you got Matt Gay. I mean, listen. Your kicker and defense probably account for 20% of your points this season. Your team sucks that bad, bro. If I look at your bench, it's somehow even worse. I could drop your whole bench, and I don't think anybody would pick him up. I mean, I don't think Alexander Madison, you might get a pity pickup at. Samaje Perine, staying on waivers. Zach Moss, I'll pick him up. Romeo Dobbs ain't touching him. Rashid Shaheed, he's going to pop out for 24 on the bench, or sorry, not the bench, on the waivers, or 0 on the waivers. Are we serious? If I were to look in the waivers for wide receiver for Mecole Hardman, I might need to refresh my phone before I can find that motherfucker. And John Smith. I mean, you're playing a third tight end on one of the worst offenses, part of a terrible state, Atlanta, which obviously you know all too well. And you just want to play him. I mean, dude. How do you think that you're a smart? What kind of model? You got to have one for the in-season, bro, because the preseason doesn't cut it. I mean, this team is terrible. I mean, you might as well go to an AI bot that says trade or not trade, and you could do that for every player on your team, and you would get a better team than what you have now. I mean, your team is awful. At the same time, there are still some terrible teams in this league. Like, you're better than Joseph. Joseph, I want you to see this press conference because you fucking suck. Reese, you might be better than Reese. Actually, no. Reese's probably better than you. That's because I blessed Reese's team. That shit sucked too. Oh my god.
All right, I just want to clarify. That's towards Code Monkey, Agi Kodali. You cannot be here because he's too much of a bitch to be in the press conference right now. I don't care if he's busy. You're 2-6, and you're too much of a bitch to say to your fans why you lost.
I have a comment. I was just gonna say, when you guys are recording this, sorry, it's so administrative. When you guys are recording this, are you recording this with the gallery view?
No, it's just
No,
You should be. You should be because
to our viewers that TJ's team, I'm on another level, won 148 to 137 against Drake and Travis. He improves to 6-2. Drake and Travis goes to 7-1. He is now second place in the league. All right.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
I do this shit.
All right. Ravon's team, Slinky Binky 99, beats Team Eternal Pain 129.88 to 125.96. He improves to 5-3 and to fourth place in the league. And Team Eternal Pain goes down to 4-4 and he's fifth place in the league. All right. How are you doing today, Ravon?
Pretty good, I would say. I had a productive day at work. Got a workout in, that's always good. And then had some kids come by for trick-or-treating. Obviously, happy Halloween, everyone. It's Halloween today. Had some kids with some cool costumes, some Itachi, Uchiha costumes and some other cool ones. So it's pretty cool. I'm here for the press conference. It's always a good week after you win, and glad to be here with all of you today.
All right. No, your team put up, a strong number of points, close to 130. You improved to 5-3. Moving forward, do you think that you are a contender? Like, do you think this team can win a championship?
I definitely think I'm a contender. I have a pretty high ceiling, I think. I would say my ceiling is one of the highest. I wouldn't say my floor is as good as maybe the top teams in the league, but my ceiling is enough to compete and beat anyone in the league in a given week. And I think in this regular season, that's obviously important because it's just a 1 week. But in the playoffs, obviously it's the semifinals and going up to the finals. It's still 1 week, but the finals is a 2-week thing.
The finals is 1 week as well.
Oh, it's only 1 week. Okay, so then all you need is just 1 week then. So I believe that with the talent I have on my team, the grouping of players give me a good combination of boom as well as a decent floor, even if they don't boom. So I think I really have a good opportunity to do well this year in the league, and I think I'll be in the if I make the playoffs this year, I think I'll really be contending to take it all.
All right.
Obviously, like you said, very high ceiling of a team, real talent. In fact, you could argue, I would say besides I thought you've always had the best bench in the league. I thought I was second. I think you've been first. I mean, just in terms of some of the names you've had there. I mean, you're benching a guy like Jordan Addison, you're winning a week, right? Obviously, that it speaks to the volume of your team, you know. So as we mentioned, trade deadline in about 14 and a half hours, a little less now. If moves get made, they do. If they don't, they don't. Is there, anything you kind of are ruling in hindsight of doing something with this talent to maybe go get a higher floor guy, like you were saying, or is there anything that you can kind of reflect maybe for next year to say like things that you could look forward to do with when you have so much talent at an early stage of the league, like I think by week 4, you could kind of recognize that your team had the makings of a very, very good team. So, and the depth, do you have anything to kind of just like reflect on?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think just the way my team played out early on, it was a really inconsistent team. Like you mentioned, the first week I absolutely dominated. I think I had 150 points, and then week 2 you beat me. I dropped 77. Just because the nature of the players on my team, they were like Brees Hall was not having the full count. John Taylor was obviously not playing. Jamar Chase had an injured Joe Burrow who wasn't performing. So there was a lot of places where my players just weren't in the optimal situation or like weren't like as healthy as could be. So I got, obviously I think this has been discussed in other conferences, but like I got offers for some of those underperforming players, and although I may have considered taking them at that time, I'm really happy that I had faith in my players, and I believed in that as time went on they would grow and develop and become the players that I knew that they could be. But in terms of trading right now, I've offered a bunch of trades to different people. I haven't really had too much success. Obviously I had a trade go through this week that we might talk about later, but other than that, like I don't really think I could do too much better with my roster construction this year, just due to the early situation of the year, how my players were rated. They weren't very high, and now that my players are rating high, people don't really want to trade. So it's kind of unfortunate. And now that we're at this point in the season, there's a clear, obviously, tiers and players. There's the teams who are competing for the championship who don't want to sell their good players, and then there's teams at the bottom who may want to sell their good players to improve weak positions, but they also don't really want to give up those good players because they're scared of what happens if they give those good players and the players that trade for it don't perform. They might get last. Obviously, there's some fear there, so it's a tricky situation, obviously, but there's I think there's still time. Obviously, you said there's 14 hours, still a lot of time left. So hey, it's Halloween, it's spooky hours. Something might happen. That's all I'm gonna say. Be careful. Be on the lookout.
You picked up Dalton Kincaid last week. You came out with a great performance, 17.5 points. What is your outlook for him the rest of the season?
So I saw obviously the Dawson Knox injury, and I knew immediately that he would be in a prime position to be getting targets on that team. They don't really have a solid wide receiver too. Gabe Davis is really boom or bust. So I think Dalton Kincaid provides a really good floor. Obviously, Dawson Knox, like a couple years ago, was a great target for Josh Allen and was performing really well. So I think he targets that tight end position. And Kincaid was a first round pick. So look, we know the talent is there. We know that they want to use him. So TJ mentioned earlier that like the fab is you want to get your guys, and if you overspend, that's fine. Some may say I overspent on Kincaid. I put $16 on him, but I think that was a position of need I really needed. And I think now going forward, even if Knox comes back at some point, Kincaid is the clear like receiving threat on that team, and he's going to be a viable player for me. And tight end may not be one of my strengths in the team. Obviously, my strengths lay out other ways. So I just needed to bolster up that position to have a dependable player at that position, which I think I did.
So to kind of quickly add on to that, does that mean that you anticipate starting Dalton Kincaid every week going forward? I mean, I know Komet just dropped a stinker 2 weeks ago, but 10 receptions for 79 yards. Is that a matchup thing that you think is possibly there? You think that's always going to be a Kincaid played for you?
It's going to be Kincaid for sure until Justin Fields come back, which we don't know when that is. He's week to week. And even then, like just the offense that the Bills have, I think it's just too much to not play there. And I think the floor is just much better for Kincaid than Komet, which at that position, I need floor because I'm not going to have if I have like a bust there, then I don't know if my players will be able to overcome that. So I think a floor there is the target that I'm having. A good floor for a tight end and really good players at other positions is my best way to proceed, in my opinion.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? All right.
I'm gonna
Congrats
talk
on
about
the
the
win.
trade that I had. Goddamn.
Oh yeah, let me point this out to the league. You know, just made a trade for Joe Burrows, Trevor Lawrence, and Jordan Addison for Joe Burrow and Jacoby Myers. You know, how excited are you for Joe Burrow coming into your team?
I'm really excited. A lot of people discount Trevor Lawrence, and I think although he hasn't been too good starting off the year, I think just some of the game script and some of the situations he's been in hasn't really called for him being a star player, throwing a lot of attempts. And although that may not change, I think he's been getting better every week. So he is not like a top end quarterback, but I think he was solid for me. But now I have Jamar Chase as my wide receiver and getting that
I'm sorry. Can you
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
stop justifying the trade and just talk about how happy you are? I mean, I know you.
Yeah, I asked you. Yeah, I asked you
I
how
mean,
happy.
damn.
How
We said
happy
how
are you?
happy you about Joe Burrow. You said, "Oh,
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is a good quarter." I don't give a goddamn fuck.
I mean, I was about to say it, but
You know
God
what?
interrupted me.
We'll ask Carter when he gets on those questions.
Okay.
But I just want to know how happy you are, how elated
got
are you to
fleeced.
get that stack.
Yeah, I'm really happy because I mean, obviously, that if that offense performs like what we know, and I think it will be, like I have probably like one of the best stacks, actually probably the best, other than like Tua Tyreek, but I don't think that's gonna happen in our
I think Burrow
Burrow,
Chase.
a Burrow Chase stack is like the ceiling is like insane there. So I think that really like brings me up really well in the quarterback position. And then Jacoby Myers obviously had a really bad game last week, but he's been pretty good overall. Other than that, so we'll see if isn't like an abomin or like a one off this last week, or if it's going to continue. Jimmy Garoppolo might just be this bad, can't throw. I don't know, or if he's going to go back to the player that he's been, which is a pretty good flex or even a wide receiver 2 play. So we'll see how it works out.
All right. You know, next week, you know, you have some players out on bye, but I still think your team is, you know, is pretty good. I think you just have Ayuk on bye. You know, you play a team, you play my team, which came off a really good performance. You know, what are you looking forward to in that matchup?
It's going to be interesting. Obviously, Commissioner, I've had a lot of back and forth battles with you. I've had some really bad losses, some ones I really wish I could get back, but I don't think we've played this year, have we?
No, this is the first time we're playing this year.
It's our first matchup. Yeah, I think
this is going to be a rematch from last year's quarterfinals. I beat you in the quarterfinals, and also the last time we played last year was the first week of the season, where DK Metcalf fumbled the ball, and I ended up getting a win from that.
Yeah. Okay. I knew that happened. I was winning that week, and then DK Metcalf fumbled in the fourth.
Fumbled, and he didn't get a reception for the entire game.
And then I freaking didn't play James Robinson over an injured running back. Oh, yeah. You don't.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. Obviously your team had a good week. You got absolutely saved by TJ's trade. It was looking in shambles before that, but I'm not too worried. You have some players on bye as well, so I'm feeling pretty confident this week about my chances going in. Yeah.
This is going to be a long-winded question, but first, Risha, your team sucks. All right, you dropped to 130.
Bro, I'm going to be interviewed. Can we not?
Dropped to 137 last week, and 30 points were from your kicker and defense. I mean, come on, man.
Can we speak about that when I get
interviewed? But
I want to answer those questions.
Going into that, so Rayvant, you know, obviously, you know, you're playing a weak team this week, but you know, with your team, obviously you made a trade for Jacoby Myers. It kind of fits again another talented player that's kind of in that middle tier. So how do you plan on dealing with kind of your packed wide receiver room in the future? You know, you have Jamar Chase for sure. Olave is not even a guaranteed start with your kind of room, it feels like, with Ayuk, Myers, even Josh Palmer just sitting there, maybe even Brandon Cooks. Right, how do you navigate that week to week, who starts, who sits? Because I mean, in my opinion, maybe you have answers to that. I don't. It doesn't seem like a very clear start sit situation. So how does that process go, and how do you plan on navigating through that?
Yeah, it's not. And that's one thing I've been trying to look for trades for these players, obviously, because they're really good players, but I have positions where I don't need all of them. So I'm trying to look to upgrade and maybe send some of them off to upgrade in a certain position. But if that's not possible, I have I have faith in Olave. Like he's been getting like a lot of targets, and I think like look, he's gonna figure it out. He's too talented not to, and I think they've been off a little bit, him and Derek Carr. So I think he's gonna find his form back into like a really high end wide receiver 2 role. And then if that can happen, then at my flex position, it's really just gonna be matchup dependent at that point. And it's gonna be a bit of a toss up there, but I mean there's not really a bad option. So I'm not too worried at that position.
Sure.
All right. Congrats, Ravon. Again, big win this week. Good luck to you next week. We play each other.
Thank you.
For things.
One final thing. Last time I was on the press conference, a certain team called me out saying how I can't be a true contender if I don't have a good quarterback or good tight end. So I just want to say thank you for the motivation. I'm coming. All right, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Pause!
I always believe
What?
It wasn't you.
Is
I always believe in
It's Keisha for me. At the end
It
of the
was
day,
Ke- it was
your
Keisha.
sorry ass need a motivation. I mean, come on.
No,
man.
the thing is, like, y'all were like upping
Thank
like
you for the
Sparks'
extra motivation.
all that. Like, I mean, I think Sparks' team is still really good, but it's not better than Ravon's. I'm sorry, Sparks, but it's not better than Ravon's. I think Sparks can admit that too. But yeah, let's pin Sam. All right.
Hello.
Hello. Long time no see. It's been like since like week 3 or week 2, something like that. You've been on here.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
like I
Actually,
think you got like 2 early ones, but since then,
dude, time is how long has it been? What? It's week 8 now.
yeah.
Week 8 just finished.
Yeah, that's crazy. Been a whole fucking month. But yeah, I think yeah, it's been okay. Had some losses, had some wins. It's been a roller coaster. I'm 4-4 now, so
Yeah. So yeah, you just beat your team Disney Pixar Batteries. 4-4 just beat Great Wall of China by 30 points exactly, 123.86 to 93.86.
yeah.
First question, playoffs.
I'm not gonna jinx it. We have some work to do, honestly. I keep messing up. I will say one thing, like I can be scoring more points. Like my wide receivers are definitely carrying me. I know my RB category is very weak, but in the sense that like there's still like a strange amount of interest in Joe Mixon across the league, and so I'm not worried. Like he scored for the first time in 8 weeks, he scored 20 points. So you know what? I'm happy. If he's gonna bust his ass now, I'm happy. Like whatever.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You know what? If he starts scoring 20 points now, who can complain? Josh Allen continues to be great. I mean, elite, 30 points. I mean, come on. I might have to start stacking Gabe Davis, but then again, this motherfucker will drop 30, and then watch. Next week, he's going to drop like 1 point. Okay? That dude, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's wrong with him, what's wrong with his life. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. He's so inconsistent. He might as well. I might say like, oh, he's going to drop 1 point, but then he might drop 30. Like who knows? Like so it's just like a coin toss, honestly. But there's probably I will say that this is the second year I've had him. TJ, there is probably some bet you can do, some algorithm you can run where if he booms, he's gonna bust like all the time. I've had him for 2 years, and I've just noticed every time he scores like 26, the next game he has like less than 5. And so I don't know. But it's really frustrating because like sometimes you'll like try to account for it, but then when you account for it, it actually messes you up. I don't know. Right now I have Tyler Lockett in my flex because thanks to TJ, he told me Kendrick Bourne just like is out for the season. So
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
terrible. I ran a whole like covariance on him with Tyler Lockett. I was like, he's better than Tyler Lockett. But Tyler Lockett's in the flex now. Seattle defense doing great. I mean, I can't complain. They're averaging like 9 points on the season. The kicker's mediocre. Bum. He's a fucking bum. I miss having Justin Tucker. Like, goddamn, I miss having the GOAT on my team. But yeah, Carlson is a fucking bum.
Yeah.
Higby's a bum. Like, I don't even know what Pierce is a bum. Like, it's terrible. Terrible.
That's terrible.
Like I'm so close to the promised land of like being well in the reach of playoff berth, but unfortunately I'm a cusper, and it's just how it goes. Khalil Herbert, like he could have been great, you know, he got injured. But yeah,
I do have to
Mike.
point out that, Kendrick Bourne was on his way to having a great game. He just scored a touchdown.
Dude,
Then
I know. He still did great. He still did great. Like,
really good. Yeah.
I like before.
Great.
That's the reason I didn't even like realize he was hurt, is because he did exactly what I wanted him to do. Like drop like some above 10 and just get the fuck out. Like drop above 10. He dropped like 13 points and tore his ACL. I mean, that is a trooper. That is a trooper right there. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne. That's sad. I picked him up off the waiver, so that's really sad. I like my waiver boys. I don't know what the fuck Ezekiel Elliott is still doing on my roster either. Jesus. Just drop that bomb too.
He won you a week too. Like, the thing is, like, you have like a whole lot of mediocre on your team. I'm not gonna lie.
But they do great.
But I feel like everyone on your team except for like Damian Pierce has won you a week this season. Like,
yeah.
Like they contributed into a winning week.
Yeah, and not only that, like they actually are consistently mid. Like they're not gonna like if I want, like, for example, if I allot in my mind, like, okay, Tyler Lockett is gonna drop 12 points this week. That motherfucker will drop 12 points. Like if I want him to drop 12 points, it's like I'm talking to him. Like, no, bro, just go drop 12 points. He goes, yes, sir. And he drops 12 points. It's done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're doing exactly what I need them to do. Like I think, and like they're gonna continue to have breakout games like Tyreek, Josh, like Joe's doing good. Like I don't know. Those are the three, and then Mike Evans like occasionally will drop like 20 something points, and then he's always like in high teens. So those three guys, and then Joe Mixon is starting if he starts to perform. Those four guys are winning me a lot of games. But yeah, haven't decided what to do with Gabe Davis yet.
So Sam, like you mentioned, a whole lot of mediocrity on your team but next year's stars. Obviously, tight window, so I'd assume not. But do you think there's any chance you're going to trade one of those stars to try and better the rest of the team? I mean, obviously,
yeah,
there's a lot of boom, there's a lot of bust. You mentioned Mixon. Is there a possibility you can a guy like Josh Allen or Tyreek get moved for?
I would like to address that. Yes, perfect. So yes, Revant also reached out to me about this. And here's my rationalization, which I think makes sense. But I don't know. Hear me out. So I have, like, in my mind, rationally, there's these great high achievers, right? And they're carrying, like, there's a lot of wide receivers and like QB, Josh Allen. Like they're like these really high achievers, and yes, they can they're doing really well, and they're carrying the rest of the team. They're pushing the average up, right? But the thing is, like, if I trade them for more numbers of like maybe like call them mediocre, but like just average players that are going to be consistently scoring, or maybe not. I shouldn't use the word consistent, but they're going to be scoring in those high teens, and like overall they're a higher, greater sum of points. At the end of the day, a lot of them like maybe I get 3 players for Josh Allen, right? But like, how many of them are actually going to get rostered and actually stay and then actually contribute that meaningful difference that Josh Allen was contributing? In my mind, it's either less, equal, or marginally better. And marginally better or equal is not enough for me to take the risk in my eyes. And that's why I disagreed with your trade, Rivon, which is that's baseline. Like, it's not enough of a risk for me to be like, or safe of a risk for me to be like, okay, it's either going to be equal. I know for a fact it's going to be equal, or it's going to be marginally more with the dudes that I'm actually rostering. Because the thing is, I don't need wide receivers. Like I really don't. So it's down to running backs, and if it's a good running back too, like how many more points am I getting with Josh Allen versus a good running back too? Like it's not marginally more. It's not. I don't know. I don't think it's equal either. So that's why I didn't make the trade.
Yeah, fair. Thank you.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
My only question is, do you think Jamar Chase is average? Is that came from you? I think.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just 30 points, and I'm adding maybe 15 with another quarterback, like maybe 18. I don't know, 18 with another quarterback. I have Gino on my on my bench. No, I'm just making a joke. But yeah, okay, maybe I'm adding like low 20s or like high teens, right? If I bring in the quarterback, and then I'm also bringing in some like low teens, mid teens from a running back, that's equal to 30 on average. You know, like, so yeah.
So
Shut the fuck up, bro. That's all I'm saying. Look, just for once. Shut the fuck up.
that's fair strategy. I mean, I think there really is a lot of credence to that. So Rishi kind of highlighted the fact that I believe you're currently sixth, and 6 people make it to our playoffs. So what is the mindset, the mentality, or the game plan to make sure that you stay in this playoff position? According to ESPN's super great, super accurate playoff percentage, you have a 54% chance.
Wow.
I believe that's.
I didn't know that.
Also,
What? Nah, I never knew that.
I believe that's 6th highest in the league. Nothing to really be mad about. So, is there something that you changed? Do you do the same? I mean, obviously, forget the trade deadline, right? Is there another more approach that like what can we expect to see from Sam? And is that more of the same, or is there something that's going to change? Obviously, you don't want to do anything too crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to continue to hit the waivers. Like, I think that's been like Kendrick Bourne was a great pickup, honestly. And like, I think if I wish he didn't get hurt, because like I actually think that was a great pickup. Like he would have scored above like 20 points continuing that, I think, if he did tear his ACL. But dude, he had like 13 and like
he looked good.
He looked good. I think or maybe not 20. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he would have.
But he was a consistent producer, and your flex you weren't getting.
Yeah, I think he would have continued to do like consistently better, like on average better than Gabe Davis or like Tyler Lockett. I don't know. I think maybe I'll pull something together on waivers like for tight end. I don't know. The point is, I think I'm going to continue to just be vigilant in the waivers and try to continue to look out and start making like some roster decisions based on what's happening. But I don't think that's going to come from a trade, just because it's on me. Like honestly, it's on me because in the position I drafted, like I have really high performance, and then I have like really mid people, and it just averages out to a position where I'm not desperate for a trade. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like dead last or like in the bottom. I'm not desperate for a trade to make things happen. So I'm in a weird spot. Like I'm in the middle, which is not a spot you want to be, because like it's not, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in the dead middle. So it's weird. So yeah.
Fair.
A weird spot to be.
There does appear to be one team who's for some reason is interested in Dameon Pierce. Have you reached out to that team? I don't know who that is.
Yo, whoever's
why are you interested in Dameon Pierce, bro? Why? This is what I'm curious about. Why are you interested in Dameon Pierce? Ravon.
I don't. It's not me.
It's not you. Who's interested in Dameon Pierce?
I know who's interested in Dameon Pierce.
There's a guy who said it says one team interested under Dameon Pierce.
Wait, are you being serious? Wait, that's so fucking fun. I thought you were like being like sarcastic. Like,
No,
dude.
No, but there's 2 teams interested.
It's TJ.
Don't call him out.
Yeah, I just did it right now. To make it fun.
TJ just did it. It's just funny.
Oh man.
I'm not gonna call him out. I don't know who the hell is interested. I'm sorry. Why? Okay, whoever's interested, I'll find out, I guess, after this call. Why are you interested in Dameon Pierce? What is where are you on the fucking list? to be in, is it Rishi? Like,
I
oh
don't
my
know,
god,
but I have an idea who it is though.
that's so funny. I think
Might have
it's
been
like
weeks ago. But one last question I have for you, Sam, is
yeah.
obviously you have a history with a lot of members of this league, particularly the commissioner. Are you rooting for him to make the playoffs? I mean, his team sucks. It'd be nothing
Is
short.
he?
Rishi just currently has the 8th highest chance of making the playoffs. So congrats to the lucky man. With about 20%. So is that somebody that you're hoping you can get in with you? Is it a fearless league where you don't give a fuck and it's just about you? Or can you comment on that?
Yeah, I think I would say that I'm glad you asked me this question because I think Rishi's demeanor in like over text is so funny. Like he never uses emojis. Like he just types like he's like so nonchalant. He'd be like, "Okay, like fuck you, like you're so mean." Like, and then he'll randomly drop like bars, like he'll like drop some wisdom, like a man who measures his wealth with a woman is no man at all. And it's like so funny because I'm like I'm chuckling, dude. Like one I was checking like every time after Thursday, after Sunday, or Tuesday morning, I checked the league and I checked like what's happening. And I remember one day like Rishi got like 60 points in the loss. And I just had a good laugh, dude. I was just laughing so hard because it was just so funny that like Rishi, like, cause like Rishi takes it so seriously, he takes his league so seriously, and he's like in dead last 60 points. The bear emoji, the bear shit is so funny. Like I just think it's like I know he's miserable, but like I just think it makes for great comedy in the league. And I I know you're down bad, but like it's fine. Like, I think this is like it's just I don't think you're gonna get last. So it's good. Just enjoy being at the bottom. I've been there. Like I think you're doing a good job making a joke out of it. Like you and Ankit's beef is hilarious. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Like the random picture he sent with him smiling was so funny. But and then the funniest thing to me is that the pictures get better in quality. Like the bear was shit quality like 2 weeks ago, and now it's in HD. Like how is that possible, dude? Oh my god, I don't know. Anyway, I think the league is like at an all-time high for comedy. I think like in terms of like chat activity is also at a high all-time high. Like we're all like reminiscing on some good times because I think we're all like all across the country and it's all good fun. I love the fact that like we were bringing up like Rishi colluded with his dad, like logged into his dad's account. Like I just forgot about that shit. That was so funny. So but yeah, I think I hope you make the play. Like let's be honest, you're not making the play. So but you're not gonna be last though, so it's fine. So yeah, yeah. Any more questions or should we move to Carter?
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Sam, for being on here. Very
Of
entertaining
course.
conference. A lot of insight. A lot of good things. But yeah, good luck to you rest of the season. You have a tough 2 matchups coming in. You have TJ next week and you have K-Shiv the week after. So good luck to you on those matchups. All right.
Thank you.
All right, let's get Carter on the spotlight.
Hey yo, bro's a lock character. What we see now?
Trying to watch Wemby.
All right.
Slimby.
Oh yeah, guys, HBO has Bleacher Report for free.
Carter, Team Draco wins 126 to 122. Improves to 4-4 in 7th place in the league. This was the Battle of the Whites. This was, Ireland versus England. This was this is like one of the biggest rivalries in the league. First of all, Carter, I gotta ask you how's your day going?
It was all right. I didn't work as long as I normally do today, so I had time to do some other things. And tomorrow is kind of like Wednesday is a later day for me. I don't have to wake up until like 9:30. But I'm working in Fayetteville tomorrow, so that's going to be a bit of a drive, and I won't get home till like 8:30. So I'm not looking forward to that, but today was good. and it's nice to be 500.
Nice. Made me happy, made me smile. Nice.
Now I was started 0 for 4 and somehow won 4 straight. So
Yeah, I forgot to mention
Cowboys
that.
won 4 straight.
Yeah.
fuck
you did.
yeah.
GM of the
All
year.
right.
I got the first question. I got the
First
first.
question for me. What you said?
I got the first question. I'm sorry. I got to.
I got to speak to him about the.
Or here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck.
Okay, you got it. Sorry.
All right, so Copib 0-4. Obviously great to go to 4-4. Never it feels good to be on a hot start. I believe currently you're 5th highest according to ESPN analytics to make the playoffs. Obviously a great feeling. Why do you make boneheaded decisions after coming off a thing like that? I mean, you can justify this trade to me. I don't think it's as bad as other people do, in all honesty. But can you maybe talk me through the thought process for why you decided to do a trade like that?
So, I haven't really even been starting Burrow, and I have a lot of faith in Sam Howell, but not really. I don't know. It's like, Addison, I have faith that he's going to remain consistent. Like the Vikings actually just signed a starting caliber quarterback. So that's not going to be as bad as it would be if they were starting that rookie. I'm not too familiar with the situation, but he was playing well even with Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be my flex now. Myers almost sold me the game against Kirk, and it was way too close. And he should, he had one catch right at the end. I know he was consistent before that, but he kind of made me worry when I shouldn't have been worrying, and for that I traded him. And Lawrence is a good quarterback. I mean,
well, so here's my thing. I agree. I think Addison's an interesting buy low. He produced with JJ, without JJ, and he looks to be a good wide receiver, and you can't really put on talent. However, you just said you like your quarterback room of CJ and even Sam Howell. So then why the hell take Trevor Lawrence back? Are you even going to play him? I mean, you have Howell. Like I understand doing a trade, sure, you can get rid of Burrow. Why the hell would you take somebody you're not even sure if you're going to play? Huh? I mean, you're just giving a guy Burrow for free?
I mean, I don't know. It's funny because, some people, I think Joseph's been asking me for Burrow for 2 weeks now. But I've just been too busy to even find out what he's worth. And I really don't know what he's worth because he's been hurt, and I feel he's about to pop off now. I'll probably play Lawrence. I don't know. He's the most talented quarterback I have. If Hal played the Eagles every week, I'd play him every week, but he doesn't. So we'll see what happens. Stroud struggled a little bit, I think, last week, but he's still got
play the best team in football. I don't blame him.
Right. Wait, who did he play?
Carolina Panthers. Keep pounding, baby.
Oh, come on now. Yeah, it's a fluke. Anyway, yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't have a clear-cut number one. It's kind of like a week-to-week thing. I'm just happy to be 500, bro. I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't know how I'm in 7th, but I have the 5th highest chance to make playoffs. I think it's at 41%.
It's because of your points scored. You don't have as many points scored as the other people that have
Right.
But
yeah,
first of all, this was going to be my first question, but it's going back. It's the Battle of the Whites. We got to talk about that. It's the Battle of the Whites, Ireland versus England. Speak to me on how much this win means to you.
I mean, it was looking to be a very comfortable win, and then it came down to the wire, and I was getting stressed out, and so I guess because of that, it feels bigger than it should have. I don't really care. There's really no rivalry. We are the,
Is there no rivalry because you constantly beat him, or
no? Well, I don't know. I don't even know. I just play who's on the schedule. I don't really, he's white, so I guess we're the only whites in the league, so therefore it's important. But I'm just looking to stack wins right now.
Me as a commissioner, I believe this is a top 6 rivalry in the league. It's not even
okay.
Because of the top 6, but
that's fair. But I mean, there's really no bad blood, beef, shit talk. It's kind of just based off of skin color at the end of the day.
Guess what Britain did to India and Pakistan, bitch?
To sacrifice my own life for Pakistan.
That's the spread, great.
I'm not from there, bro. That's him.
He's from Ireland. He's from Ireland. He's Ireland. He's Irish.
No, it's just funny when I hear you say, like, Rishi was like, oh, this is a top 6 rivalry, like, in the league. Like, this is, and then Carter was like, it's just down to skin color. I don't really, there's no bad beef or anything. And then I was like, bro, this is exactly what England did to Pakistan and India.
Yeah, I know.
Let's say that
Created
was
a
part
beef, bro.
let's say that was part of the joke,
Created
but
a
it
beef.
wasn't.
We're creating beef between the whites.
Well, that's that's fine. Honestly, like it's great to hype it up and everything. Like it's nice to win. It's nice to have it be a good game because then there's something to, talk about in the chat on Monday night. It's
Yeah.
always nice to have a good Monday night down to the wire. It's just that, I thought I wasn't even gonna have to pay attention to it, and I barely even got to watch that game. So, but yeah.
Okay, this is like actually a real question. I play poker a lot, and in poker there's a thing called max value. And the players that you traded for, I do not believe you got max value for. What do you have to say to that?
You don't believe I got max value?
No, not even close.
You talking about this trade or last trade?
The trade that you had today with Joe Burrow. Like, did you try to go for anyone more than Jordan Addison on his team?
No, because I mean, when he said he was gonna throw in Addison, I was like,
Throw in.
I saw his production, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a good deal. Because I kind of wasn't thinking about it. I was bored at work, and I've kind of gotten somewhat complacent because I guess I've been winning, and so it's like, okay, I have a little wiggle room, but we'll see how it works out. I do think I probably didn't get enough back for Joe. That's the consensus, I guess. I knew that somebody was gonna have a problem with it, and I don't think it's like the worst I've ever gotten fleeced before. Obviously,
I mean, are you supposed to put your head?
I'm gonna try
your
not to
head
get
held
mad.
up high. I mean, listen, I'm not here to say you got fleeced. I'm just saying you didn't do your due diligence. All right, you just
can't do it.
You can. You can do it. You can. You can.
said, damn it, fuck it. I saw something sure. And bro said I'm gonna throw in that. I just don't understand. For the first time in a long time, your team doesn't fucking suck. I would be beaming if I was.
I mean, I made the playoffs 2 years ago.
I guess I can fuck around and make a trade.
I mean, it's not like I initiated this trade, bro. People are hitting my line left and right.
Bro, then stay busy, bro. You see Sam? Sam acts like he says no because like he knows what's going on. He just says no, bro. Like, just do that. What are you doing? God, you say yes because you like what, bro? What?
No, honestly, it didn't seem like a bad trade to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait,
because,
Calvin,
like I said, Burrow's been.
I'll say one last thing, then I'll stop. I'll stop. Can you read the chat name to me?
Yeah, no.
Can you not read a chat name?
I'm not going to, bro. We're trying to keep
don't read a chat name.
This is 3 a.m. waiver wire trade sweats. All right, trades. You think
are you gonna call me the R word like Chris Broussard, bro?
No.
Wait, can we bleep out? I just realized I cursed so much.
Is this dude
during
mentally?
Oh my god! Yes,
I cannot believe he said that on national TV. All right,
this is national TV. This is national TV. Can we bleep out whoever's editing this?
But I'm really not trying to get mad. Like the thing is, I'm playing Revolt next week. That's why I'm a little antsy about this. But it's fine. But thank you, Carter. Thank you, Carter, for your time. Congrats on the win.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, sorry.
All right, so there's been a player on your team who's been maligned all year long. I think you know who I'm talking about, and he had a huge game this week, DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh yes.
You think he can be a true wide receiver 2 on your team?
Who was talking shit about him?
Probably me. That guy sucks.
No, it was I think it was Sparsh, maybe. I don't know. The answer to that is absolutely not. I'm not fooled by this Mickey Mouse performance. he'll remain. I'll flex him. Like, obviously he was competitive with Jacoby Myers pretty much all season as far as projections, and I would always just put him in flex because he was my third best receiver. Now, I give up Myers, so I still keep my lineup with Addison, obviously. But I could. It doesn't really matter if he's a wide receiver 2 or not, because I'm going to be playing both of them anyway. Like, Diggs is the unquestioned number 1, and then I don't really have anybody else that's competing unless I get somebody through a trade. For, like, let's say, what's his name, Hubbard, because people are trying to get Hubbard off of me because he's gonna start going crazy. But no, I don't think he needs to be a wide receiver 2 on my team.
For him? Because I mean, you love to get fleeced, right? And I'll give you like the Panthers defense.
I mean, is it good?
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I believe Hopkins is a good wide receiver. I just didn't think he was in the right situation.
It's also a coincidence that Rishi's 3 and 5,
bro. But Will Levis is just like, he's trying to prove his ex-girlfriend that she was wrong, bro.
Yeah.
Gia Duddy, man.
Bad. But yeah, no, everybody's on her TikTok just like talking about how he went off. It's funny.
Were you on there for research purposes?
I already did my research. Yeah,
Well-versed.
the draft, bro. I was like, damn. All right, is that it?
Yeah. Thank you, Carter. Thank you for your time. Congrats on the win again. Let me see who you're playing next week. You know who you're playing next week?
I still have this one up here.
It's fine.
I'm playing who?
Joseph.
Oh, yeah, he's trying.
Easy dub.
Well, I don't want to say that. He's trying to get some last minute trades off me. So
yeah, he just got a win off of a good team. So who knows? But yeah, you have Joseph next. You have a pretty good schedule coming up. But yeah, good luck to you for the rest of the season. And thank you again. All right, put me on the spotlight. All right. First thing I just
Hello everyone. You got it's coming home. Big win, Rishi. Over Code Monkey, 137.08 to 104.14. It's been a long time since you had your first win. First of all, let me ask how you're doing. It's fine Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night.
I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing good. It's been a good week. I won. So yeah, nothing to complain about.
All right, so
Something to complain about.
Let's get into the matchup. All right.
Your team, obviously.
Can we talk about last week first?
Obviously, you had a great week last week. You finally won, first time in a month. Like, damn, Jesus Christ! I know. I don't even know how that must feel. 137 points. Except, I know obviously the trade seemed to have worked out, really bolster your depth. Obviously it's tough to part with a piece like Christian McCaffrey, but
it's not bolstering my depth. It's bolstering my lineup.
I mean, yeah, but so. The thing is, for me, I was left with a lot of question marks and worrying signs, and I was wondering if you could kind of ease that or ease it for your fans. Jared Goff, not a great performance, and you have Stafford in the depth, so possibly you swing for a guy like Levis. Is that a thing? And I'll let you answer these, but I have a whole bunch of questions here. Ricardo, obviously you got him on waivers for a couple weeks, but as he's about to go, I mean, there's no real confident RB2 there. Your wide receivers obviously looks like a much more stronger position with Waddle, Moore, and hopefully Ridley will still see his consistency. And then Hawkinson takes a big blow with the Kirk, out for the year. So, what kind of confidence do you have going to next week, knowing out of your 137 points, 30 were from your defense and special teams? And no matter what you tell me about Cameron Dicker, he's not that guy. So, I mean, that's 107 points from non-special teams. So, with all of your team not looking that great and even going weaker as the weeks go by, especially DeMarcado playing the Browns. So what do you have to say for all that?
All right, let's just go through my lineup. All right. So Jared Goff, kind of mediocre, but he has been good this season. Like, he's had good weeks. He has a really good schedule. He's going to be on bye next week. But yeah, I don't think anyone in this chat needs a quarterback. So yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna swing for the fences. Will Levis, I have to. Let's go. I mean, Amari DeMarcado. He had 21 touches. Not the greatest fantasy day. Only got one reception. But I watched a good portion of that game, and he looked good. He looks good. Like he looks like a good running back.
Good enough to take James Conner starting role. Or
Hopefully James Conner just doesn't play for the rest of the season.
Fuck 50. I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for now. But no, he if you I watched some film on this guy and on Twitter here and there, he looks like a good running back. He's a rookie. But I'm not gonna say he's gonna win me. He's gonna win me a game here. He's gonna get me to the playoffs or whatever. But I'm just gonna say he's a good running back. My wide receivers, they do look good, but I do have Calvin Ridley on bye next week. I do have Jalen Waddle on bye the week after. So I gotta make some moves to fill that hole for these next 2 weeks. Hawkinson, big blow. I know it sucks. Kirk Cousins being out for a season. But what can I do? Josh Dobbs, he did throw a lot to his tight end when he was at Arizona. So hopefully Hawkinson can see to the same or almost amount of production that he got with Kirk. But yeah, his ceiling will be capped. But hopefully he'll still bring me some good weeks. But yeah, look special team, defense, special teams, and kicker. That's how you win weeks. Throughout this entire season, I haven't been winning weeks. I have to say that. But other than last week, I have been doing pretty well with my defense and kicker. So I expect that to be a constant. That isn't that is
30 points. 30 points.
30 points. 30 points is a lot of points. But I mean, this is it's just a great week. I'm not gonna lie. This is a great week for my defense and kicker. But I've had been getting a good amount of points, at least 18 points from my defense and kicker throughout the season. So that's something that I have to carry on. But I have some. I don't have the greatest bench. I'm not gonna lie, but there are some pieces if I drop a majority of my bench to the waivers, there'll be a good amount of demand. So hopefully I can make a move before the trade deadline and try to get another wide receiver that I can play for the next 2 weeks. That's the main goal right now for making moves right now.
Okay. It's obviously nice to know you have a plan for your fucking mediocre ass.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? Going back to that, last week, I said that I wasn't going 100%. That doesn't mean I wasn't trying. This league is, in terms of I take fantasy football very serious. This league is the biggest for me, but I said I wasn't going 100%. That doesn't mean I wasn't trying. That's two completely different things. If you're running a sprint and you're going 80%, doesn't mean you just weren't trying. That means you weren't where you were supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying?
So you said this league you care about the most and you're trying, but you weren't.
But you understand what I'm trying to say? Going 100% and not trying there's an area between that, and I was in that area.
That's true. So do you want a pat on the back for when you tried, you didn't try your hardest? You want a pat on the back?
I know.
I mean, that's on you. When you try, you better give it your all.
No, of course I'm giving it my all, but I wasn't pushing myself to the limits, and that's what I needed to do. You understand? That is 100%. All right, I just want to get it out. I just want to get that out because I was so frustrated after last week, the things that you guys are saying. But
you guys,
because I do try. I 100% this league. I take this league very serious. But all right, y'all can ask me questions now.
I want to ask about your matchup last week. You didn't really face any threat. Team Code Monkeys looking kind of aimless right now. Do you have anything to say about them going forward? Obviously, they have Ankif, the GM of Code Monkey, had some choice words these past few weeks to say about your team. Do you want to respond to him?
And he ate those words up. He said a lot, and guess what happened? He lost. He lost by 30. His team is terrible too. His team is mid. It is mid. I don't think it's the worst in the league. I think there's teams worse than his. Like he has a team that may be like in 10th or 11th, I would say. But yeah, I love I still I know I love that's my brother. I love Ankit, my Telugu brother. But you ate those words up.
So you define his team as mid, maybe worse than
Mhm.
mid. What would you call your team?
It's mid, but it has room to improve. It has players that can improve rest of the season. It's been mid, but it has players that can improve.
So I know you know this. You're a good fantasy football manager that tries 80%. So in your next
I
6
never
weeks,
said I tried 80%. I said that I wasn't trying 100%.
sorry,
I never said
99. Sorry.
Yeah, we can go with that.
Nah, that would be disrespectful to the number 99. All right. So you're playing Rayvon this week. You got Moog the week after. Then you got Kirk, then you got me, then Cop Bib Sam. I would say overall, pretty strength of schedule is around around middle of the pack. Is that something that, kind of gives you confidence knowing that you're playing against some perennial non-playoff contenders in the league history? Does that give you confidence going in that you have a pathway to make that playoff spot?
I don't think there are 5. I think it's more like a 7 or 8 in my opinion. I think there are some really good teams there. I think Ravon's team is really good. I think your team is really good. I think Carter's team can be really good. Sorry. But yeah, right now I'm 3-5 at this point. I am in 8th place, and I'm 1 game away from a playoff spot, and I'm 9 points away from 6th place in terms of points scored. So yeah, I mean, of course, there's a chance, and this past week certainly gave me confidence that I can build upon this week. So we just have to see. Next week will be a good one. It's a good matchup. Me and Ravant had a lot of battles in the past, so let's just see what happens this upcoming week.
So you mentioned this idea of possibly looking to make a trade, right? And obviously in the state that you're in trade, obviously whenever a team's looking for a trade to ultimately bolster their team. So as we've mentioned, about 13 and a half hours left until trade deadline. So if you could take a temperature of where your team is now and where do you think, if Rishi doesn't make a trade, right? If it's coming home doesn't make a trade by the deadline, where does that leave you versus where would it be versus if you do make a trade? What is the level of, are you really trying to make sure you swing that trade, or can you kind of give us a peek inside?
A motherfucking damn ham a fucking sandwich. This pussy ass nigga burned a fucking sandwich. Why the fuck you ain't eating cold?
Damn, he's panicking.
I'm not panicking. I'm just wondering like how should I answer this question? But I need a flex these next 2 weeks. I don't think Christian Watson is good enough for me to win these next 2 weeks. But if Christian Watson has to start, and he might have to start for me, but I'm going to try my hardest to get a player that can start there in that flex position.
Okay, I have a question. So you're talking about your flex position. There is possibly one person who's on your bench right now who could be a flex candidate, a breakout player. I don't know if the effort you've put into has been looking into this guy. Jackson Smith and Jigba has been doing really well these past few weeks. Do you think he could be a person to play a flex?
He's a candidate for sure, but I'd probably take Christian Watson over him. I think Christian Watson, he sees more volume. He sees I think Christian Watson, he can have like a really good week. We saw last year how good Watson was in certain weeks. So I'd probably take Christian Watson over him.
Wait, I would hype up Jason a bit more because if I were to guess, you're trying to trade his ass too. So I
nobody. I don't think anyone wants Jason. I think it's more of like B-Rob, Watson, maybe like going into my starting lineup, things like that. I've thrown some offers here and there, but there are some players on my team that can certainly they're on the verge of making a real role for themselves, such as Tajay Spears and Devin Singletary. But I don't think they're startable as of now. But yeah, I don't think my team is completely in the mud, but there has to be, you have to be realistic with yourself, and when you're being realistic, you got to see what you can do to make it better. So I think the main thing for me is putting myself in the best position to win this week. And sorry about the horn, by the way, in the background.
I can't hear shit.
Oh.
I have a question. How's your like training and season going?
It's going well.
That's
I've
good.
been getting a little bigger. I've been lifting.
That's
you know,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah,
Good.
Season's coming. November 10th is game 1.
Got
So,
you. Let me know if there's any games near Charlotte.
yeah. I don't. The closest game to North Carolina is Danville, on January 13th, against Everett College.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Thank you to guys. Thank you to everyone that showed up for today's press conference. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Comment new ideas or what we should do for next week. TikTok and Twitter will be in the bio. But yeah, I think that's it. So,